Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will request to stop my presentation. I have given a presentation. See if that presentation can be put on the screen. Yeah. So this is the almost the last session. I mean, the valedictory session is there, but yeah. So distinguished guests on the dais and off the dais, and my special thanks to Ms. CMA, Mr. Suresh Gunjali, who have basically brought me here, and he has explained me the context. I'm grateful to him that he was able to join the book launch, which recently I had in Bangalore. I've written a book with my experiences of 43 years, which is Clarity Computes, and he joined there, and there he explained to me the context of this today's session. So I would rather, in my own way, try to tell you the story of building a management consulting and service setup, which I have made. I'm an industry man for last 43 years, and only less than 1 year, 8-9 months, in fact, one of my director, Amit Agarwal, is here, and another person who also leads, one of the prominent leads, the ESG, Siddharth Paul, is also here. I would just tell you this story. When our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi tells us about Vikshit Bharat 2047, and everybody is engaged on Vikshit Bharat 2047, something good will happen. So I would say for our profession also, I'm a fellow cost accountant, chartered accountant and company secretary, started my journey way back in 82. I joined initially Steel Authority of India Limited as a junior manager of finance and accounts. And from there, after spending 18 years, as a chief finance manager, I joined Tata Motors. And I retired from Tata Motors as the managing director of Tata Motors Smart Mobility Solution in June 2025. And thereafter formed this company, Naptom Consulting Private Limited. I would like to tell you what are we doing, what is the scope of management consulting practices, and that is nothing but whatever management accounting our mother institute have teaches us, and definitely it will have its ramifications. Everything is subject to evaluation. People are talking of AI and all. Naturally, the scope of work, the dimension of work has changed with AI, but currently it's a reality. We have been doing this work, and with this, I will tell the various fields in which we are able to work. One is strategic advisory and transformation. And I'm telling you, we are fortunate to advise a company which has 15,000 crore plus turnover, a listed company, where we have been advising them in the role of a catalyst as also a creator. And 40 plus people are working with our team, right from product design, product management, manufacturing excellence, supply chain, sales, service, as also the creator's role like activity-based costing or break-even management. This shows the capability of a CMA, the capability of the management accounting education we have, and this could be done in a very short span of time. I've been working with them with a long-term engagement. Second is cost and competitiveness leadership. We are able to project to the farm our practices where some people are looking for cost reduction, value enhancement, how it can be done, from could cost and does cost and should cost, how we are changing the scenario. There are many companies, including startups, who are interested in that operations, and we are able to support that. Third dimension is ESG and sustainability. Practically speaking, here We have just started the opening, and we have started with the training formulator. Why training formulator? Because might be there are many listed companies who are getting their certifications, etc., done by big fours, but preparing the organization for the ESG. Recently, I had been in a discussion with one of a very big conglomerate in India who are going to start a major scheme called ESG Ki Pathshala. And we are one of them, helping them in that drive. For confidentiality, I cannot tell you the names of those companies, but I'm telling how the world is changing, how the management consulting practices are changing. Then value creation and networking services, all of you are aware what way this can be done. Corporate training we are doing in a big way, and personally I have been a trainer for a long time, right from being trained in the 90s in the UK. I've been training and teaching in the lot of big schools. TCM divisions of CII, I've been actively engaged as a mentor, and Institute have signed an MOU also to start a course of advanced level course on the TCM. I'm happy to say that similar model is being followed by Symbiosis Institute in 3 locations, and also I am Kozhikode. So this shows the importance of the CMAs and their contributions in changing the world. But one thing I would say, during my journey as a career, I not only worked in finance, I worked in manufacturing, I worked in HR, I worked in corporate planning, I also worked in sales and marketing. So you must take into account that you must be a business manager. I could transform the Tata Motors organization into a real business partnering organization where there are 40 to 50 CFOs in different shops, different locations. They may not be designated as a CFO, but this is the CFO of an engine shop, one is the CFO of an axle shop, one is the CFO of a gear shop, one is the CFO of a product line. So this is the way the things need to be transformed. Then Global Capability Center operations. I'm happy to say that these we have been running earlier. And currently in the global capacity in Bangalore, actually in Bangalore itself, we operate 2 offices, and where we are confident to further accelerate the services of the GCC. And today you may say management accounting and GCC, the execution arm, how these are two related. But today the GCC services are also getting changes. GCC services doesn't mean only doing the payroll of the company or doing the job of a virtual CFO. A lot of very, very non-conventional work, management accounting work is coming under the GCC domain. We have been experiencing that. People are willing to offload the supply chain. People are willing to offload the procurement function. And this is happening day in, day out. And definitely the business support services. So these are the 7 practice domains, the integrated framework. I don't like to repeat here. Slide is not, why the slide is not changing. Can someone help from there? The slide is not moving. Yeah. So the integrated management accounting framework, which is the value creation through strategic alignment of cost, performance, and sustainability, where we are trying to say that all these are finally creating the sustainable value and aligning the cost architecture with strategic intent, strategic cost architecture, redesign the cost structure to support the long-term competitiveness positioning and revenue growth models. I'm giving you an examples. My previous speakers, the learned speakers, have given many examples. I'm telling you, 2001, Tata Motors has made the highest loss of any private sector company has made in the world. That time it was 500 crores. It was almost a turmoil in the company. You know, we we changed it, we deliberated on it, and we created the product which we today we call at Chota Hathi, the Tata S. Because that time the 100% market was ours, and this is the management accounting real work. You say capture the last miles. There was no competition in the last mile transportations. And how we created, how we get the life cycle cost structures have been talked about by my previous speakers, how we have found that this could be really a value on table. So we have could give the deliverables as a strategic cost review, benchmark report, target operating model, make versus buy, outsource analysis, M&A cost synergy modeling. I am happy to say whatever I have learned with a big acquisition like Jaguar Land Rover, I could apply to the even of smaller level of functioning which we are doing as a consulting advisory. Then business case for transformation investments and CFO dashboard and strategy scorecard. So this is, I wanted to little bit dwell on it, cost and competitiveness leadership. Should cost and open book costing. I'm telling you, this can change the entire system. In my book, I have written one thing, Clarity Competes. The book's name is Clarity Competes. If you see the syllabus, the chapters of the book, you will find there is a chapter on cost, there is a chapter on value, there is a chapter on technology, there is a chapter on innovation. This is where it has been moved. What I say, what is the theme of the book is that in absence of the clarity and the culture, this is not going to give you the results in the competitive market. So I'm telling you, should cost and open book costing, the transparency is a very big problem. When we launch Nano, we find even at the end of the program also, the cost is not still known. Everybody is talking of his or her own version of cost. We started a cost room. In my book, I have mentioned about cost room. Single version of truth. Single version of truth will give you a lot of results. So should cost and open book costing. Activity-based costing and management can change the color. The SMH, the standard man-hour in which you have been allocating the overheads is not the right one. So a lot of modules are being made, and we are able to do a lot of, you can say, kind of apps, etc., on activity-based costing, which are easier to be applicable for small companies. Then break-even and contribution analysis are old thing analysis. But you know, many of our seasonal companies, many of our promoter-driven companies, they get maybe having a turnover of 25,000 crores, but they still, being also in a seasonal industry, their break-even is very high. And we are able to give that service to them, how to structurally reduce the break-even in a step-by-step approach. These are very rudimentary things which we have done in your marginal costing exercises, but this can turn down to a very big management accounting practice if done in a proper way. VAV target costing, naturally the value analysis and value engineering has a lot of importance to it. In the interest of the time, I will try to move fast. The ESG and sustain, 2 minutes I will finish. ESG and sustainability, I think I should have talked more. I've been doing my doctoral research on these ESG and sustainability and ROI. What is my question is that today an organization is making their ROC of maybe 10% and maybe a PBIT of or PBT of 14%, but what if it is not the ESG sustainability adjusted ROI or the PBT? I will not be able to disclose it. I'm in a partial 50% stage of doing it, but I'm telling you, the research is giving the output that what will be the sustainability adjusted KPIs for or the targets for these companies. And actually those targets, people are telling it more today that we'll be net zero on such day, net zero on such day. But the thing is that the real thing of ESG, sorry to say, I've mentioned in my book also, ESG has been more done as a compliance now. People are still yet to realize what is going to happen when the real ESG, real delivery is going to meet. And climate is confronting us in a very big way. Bangalore has never seen such a kind of a high temperature which has happened 15 days back, you have seen, at least with the rains, the things have come down a little bit. So I would not repeat it. These are the compliant which services we are capable of providing. Then this is the value creation and networking services. And finally, the corporate training, as I said, this is a branch where we are basically trying to help the industries wherever they need the services. So, and GCC, I am not elaborating here, business support services. This is the last slide, I would say, how the 7 practices are interacting with each other. Strategic advisory to cost leadership to ESG sustainability. You see the chain is there. Strategic advisory to cost leadership to ESG and sustainability, ESG to value creation to corporate training to GCC and operation, GCC and operation to BS business support. And that is where we are able to do as the management consulting service company. Our name of the company is NAFTOM Consulting Private Limited. NAFTOM means navigating tomorrow. We have some umbrella companies, and we are able to do from that. Finally, I would see the key takeaways are: cost is not a constant; it is a strategy. Sustainability is not a cost.
That Antakshari was a good point to stop.
Yeah, just let me show you this example that it is. I have not shown you the only slides or the thoughts. I wanted to tell you that these are the organizations, leading organizations we are currently serving with a manpower of 500 plus on roll and off roll. So I wanted to live with a positive note that management consulting service, management accounting practices is a huge scope for the CMA profession, provided it is done in proper way. Thank you very much, and hopefully I would say that I will be able to clarify to your any other doubts through your questions. Finally, I will say organizations that will lead tomorrow are those that today align cost, culture, and innovation. That is what I believe, and I have written in my book. Thank you so much.